Hello there and welcome. Let's think of this session not as a formal reading, but more like a compassionate conversation. We're just going to take a closer look at some of the subtle energies in your chart that might be shaping your journey right now.
So, tell me, does this sound at all familiar? You're putting in all the work, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, but it just feels like there's this invisible wall. If that resonates with you, please know you are definitely not alone. And Vedic wisdom actually tells us there might be a very specific cosmic reason for that feeling of resistance.
Okay, let's dive into what's really going on here. Instead of thinking of this as some kind of permanent roadblock, I want you to see it as a specific cosmic pattern, one we can actually identify and, more importantly, work with. You see, just understanding the why behind these struggles, that's the real first step to finding your way through them.
Now, the pattern we're talking about has a name, Kendradhipati Dosha. I know, that sounds super intimidating, but let's just break it down. Kendra refers to the powerful pillar houses in your chart. Adipati just means ruler, and dosha, well, it simply means a point of stress or affliction. So really think of this less as a curse and more like a specific spot where a planet's energy is getting a little tangled up.
To really get this, we have to talk about the Kendra houses. These are literally the cornerstones of your entire life. The first house, that's you, your identity, your body, your sense of self. The fourth is your home, your roots, your emotional core. The seventh is all about your most important relationships. And the 10th, that's your career, your reputation, how the world sees you. They're the pillars holding up the whole structure of your life.
So here's where it gets interesting. It's a bit of a paradox, really. You would think that having the best planets, the good guys like Jupiter and Venus, in charge of the most important areas of your life would be a slam dunk for success, right? But weirdly, this is where that cosmic stress can creep in. It's not always so straightforward.
Let me give you an analogy that makes this make so much more sense. Imagine a wise, spiritual guru. Their energy is pure, expansive, all about higher consciousness. Now imagine forcing that guru to work a stressful 9-to-5 corporate job, obsessed with spreadsheets and profit margins. Can the guru do the job? Sure, but their true essence, that beautiful spiritual energy, gets diluted and stressed out. They're forced to operate in a way that's totally against their nature. Well, that's exactly what can happen to a good, benefic planet in a Kendra house. Its pure energy gets bogged down in all the worldly stuff, making it harder for its best qualities to shine through. You might even feel that in your own life, having a wonderful gift, but feeling like you're forced to use it in a way that just doesn't feel right.
Okay, so let's get really practical. How does this cosmic stress actually show up in your day-to-day life? Because depending on which of these good guys is feeling the pressure, the effects can pop up in really different ways, creating some very distinct challenges that you might just recognize.
So, if it's Jupiter, the big planet of wisdom, luck, and expansion, that's getting squeezed, you might find yourself working so hard but just not seeing the financial rewards. Maybe higher education felt like an uphill battle, or it feels like your wisdom and your best efforts just aren't being seen or appreciated by others. It's like Jupiter wants to give you its big blessings, but it's being held back. Now, when it's Venus, the planet of love, luxury, and comfort, under this stress, the challenges feel different. You might be surrounded by nice things but still feel a sense of dissatisfaction, like something's missing. Relationships can feel rocky, or if you're a creative person, you might suddenly hit a wall. It's that feeling of emptiness right where you should be feeling love and comfort. And with Mercury, the planet of communication and intellect, well, the hurdles become all about your mind and how you connect with others. You might feel like you're constantly being misunderstood, business deals or partnerships could feel shaky, or you might struggle with a mind that just feels scattered, jumping from one thing to the next with this nervous energy.
And finally, if it's the moon feeling this pressure, this one can feel deeply personal. The moon is our mind, our emotions, our inner peace. So this can show up as anxiety, big mood swings, a mind that just won't quiet down with worry, and this underlying feeling of not being content, which can sometimes be connected to a strained relationship with your mother.
Okay, now, after hearing all that, I want to be really clear. The point of seeing these patterns is not to feel doomed or accept a difficult fate. Absolutely not. This is all about empowerment. Because once we know exactly where that cosmic stress point is, we have a clear target. And Vedic wisdom gives us an amazing, practical toolkit to help rebalance those exact energies. So what are these tools we can use? Well, they're not some big, complicated rituals. They are really just conscious actions that are designed to realign your personal energy with the planet that needs a little support. We're talking about things like mantra chanting, making specific donations, and even simple, powerful acts of service. Let's look at one of the most direct methods, strategic donations. The principle here is so beautiful. It's about giving away the kind of energy you want to harmonize within yourself. And you'll notice how the items, the colors, and even the day of the week all align perfectly with the planet's unique nature. Performing these small acts really helps to smooth out that planet's energy in your life.
And honestly, beyond donations, some of the most powerful remedies are things we can weave into our daily lives. To balance Jupiter, we can make a conscious effort to respect our teachers and elders. For Venus, truly honor the women in your life. For Mercury, commit to radical honesty. And for the Moon, mindfully care for your mother or mother figures. These simple acts go right to the heart of healing that planet's energy.
So as we wrap this up, if there's one thing you take away, I want it to be this. Please shift your perspective. This dynamic we see in your chart, it is not a curse. It is not a life sentence that's designed to hold you back. I really want you to let that sink in. I want you to think of this as your personal cosmic map, highlighting with a big, bright arrow exactly where your focused attention will have the most incredible impact. It's a cosmic invitation, an invitation to consciously engage with these parts of your life, to turn what feels like a point of stress into your greatest source of strength and growth. The only question left is, what are you going to do with that invitation?